You are watching AYV Television.
Only to discover distant sunlight, heaven make the sky so blue. Afternoon is hazy, river flowing, all around the sounds moving closer to knowing that the storm.
All right, indeed. Good morning, Freetown. Good morning, Sierra Leone. Welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone on the Africa Young Voices television. You're also hearing us on radio this morning on 101.7 frequency modulation. My name is Victor Jones. Now, whether you're watching us or listening to us from the provinces or in the capital city here on channel 33 or on DSTV, on our channel 399 from across Africa, you're heartily welcome. You can also watch us from around the world on this beautiful day. It's the 8th day, the month of June 2026. Please stay with us because in the next 2 hours we will be bringing you news, views and sport all inclusive in this program. As usual, we are broadcasting live from the top of Tower Hill in the heart of the sprawling city Freetown. Do not hesitate to send us your comment through our socials on AYV News on Facebook, and we will also be bringing you stories that have been covered over the weekend. Now, over the weekend as well, Sierra Leone joined the rest of the world to commemorate World Food Safety Day that was observed on the theme From Burden to Solutions, Safe Food Everywhere. In Sierra Leone, the day serves as a crucial push to reduce foodborne illnesses and supports the nation's broader Feed Salon initiative for food sovereignty. We shall be discussing the importance of the day in its entirety. Our 30-year-old mother of 4 from the Moiba community in eastern Freetown has sparked national debate after she reported a forced initiation into the Bondo society. We shall be discussing the controversies surrounding that issue all in this program this morning. And a sport team will bring you exclusive report on Sierra Leone's senior men's team, the Leone Star victory over Lone Stars of Liberia in Bo over the weekend. But if all of that happens this morning, let's take a quick message from our sponsor, Wakeup Commercial Bank, which will be followed by other advertisers. I shall be back with you in a jiffy.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like a Rotel SIM couple.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
Sorry, Carl, go see some business partners.
You didn't give me memory, Michael. Can if I can say you where this can people in not to Indy. Michael, today you pay me money. I don't send it for let you help me send money in Ghana. 2 weeks now you not send me money and tell you not give me back me money. Today, give me money.
You know ever sabi goodness in life. I dey send back your money, but trust me, today na the very last day I dey ever send money for now.
I don't need your help because I don't know so with Afri money. I dey able send money. Now Baku Africa countries them with Afri money. We dey able send money to over 10 African countries, whether it's Ghana, Gambia, Liberia or Kenya. If me party be know this, We not forget about the glamour right now.
Okay, una go regret. I mean, now me not. Una go regret.
The best part right now, Michael, with Afri money, you dey able send money even if you not use app, even if you know the online directly. All you need for do is just a dial *161#. Pam, your money don't go. So I don't need the help again. Thief man.
Thank you.
Send money to over 10 African countries instantly with AfriMoney. No stress, no excuses. Just dial *161*1*6# now. AfriMoney, quick and easy.
Feels good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina. Share happiness.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes up waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sarah juice because they make them from with local foods them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now you make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice and nutritious, it healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salone.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, on 8th August 2024, Statutory Instrument Number 8 of 2024 regarding the conduct of nationwide population and housing census was successfully laid in Parliament. On 29th August 2024, this statutory instrument became effective following 21 days from its laying. Therefore, in line with the decennial census calendar, I am pleased to announce that my government will conduct a nationwide population and housing census.
It's 2026, we dey get with census. Make all man tell him fambulem, and we responsibility for bring development. Make all man tell him fambulem. From the east to the west, blama blama. From the north to the south, blama no matter how you there or you try, blama blama. Motoka, mama or papa, blama blama. One pikin or grandpa, blama blama. Auntie or uncle, blama blama. Motivo, let them come to you. Yeah, one people, one nation. Let them come to you. Yeah, the census go make you get the access. For make you go vote now this land. Let the all you. If you don't want make them country again, make them grip you. Cause this time you're salon for right.
See what you been a second cabo aduo. We bring good news, salon people every year. Census don't come again. We ready for control, sky from the young to the old. Say the census go help make development day. Allow me then continue until you know go pay. It go help plan more schools, hospital and lights, even water for you community. Who say you there?
They call to you, yeah. One people, one nation. They call to you, yeah. Now we number go build salon. They call to you, yeah. No person say you not here. They call to you, yeah. They don't call to you, yeah.
Census they come, dear, we cooperate. Tell mama and papa, then get for country all, dear, make we all ready. Census go help for make we know we safe, and who say we stand. If you claim say you love salon, who say development day, na day you for day.
Yambo tegina, mimbo tegina, mingo teteke biambe. Ka 2026, census na me right, census na you right. Family. Imagine if they count everybody, they left you out.
Amulemba kotumogbawa, upoka kufuni ngesa gbele tuwa. Tonya, ye amubuji hule panda. Wabulo le tobogbawa baya ganga. Ye tumogbawa mudagbe behave. Kometi ya go salon bate mukweleva. Nabi yina na mea tobogbawa na. Do mama kome kolabo ganya delega. Ina
Kakontone dim ding dang, dim ding dang, dim ding dang. Katap kata ting angkape kata kongkel, angkape kata panganda yer. Abagato bagat, aindo gor. Agalene, samo jamu, agatamu, sarentamu. Donye, mama marita kangonsu.
Ame ya timi wandi, timi wandi. Ame ya timi wandi, timi wandi. Mwa kongo tami wandi, ungewa menda milwena wo. Ya kongo tabi wandi, ungeba handa bebe holo.
From the east to the west, blama blama. From the north to the south, blama. No matter how you dare or you try, blama blama. You want to go, mama or papa, blama blama. Mo pikin or grandpa, blama blama. Auntie or uncle, blama blama. Mo tipe oh, yeah. May they call to you, yeah. One people, one nation. May they call to you, yeah. Now we number go build salon. May they call to you, yeah. No person say you not here. May they call to you, yeah. May they call to you, yeah.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like a Wakeup SIM couple.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Rokel SIM Couple Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
Sorry, car, go see some business partners.
You didn't give me my money, Michael. Can if I can say you give me a discount, people not to in that day. Michael, today you pay me my money. I don't send it for let you help me send money in Ghana. 2 weeks now, you not send me money and then you not give me back my money. Today, give me my money.
You know ever sabi goodness na life. I send back your money, but trust me, today na the very last day I ever send money for now.
I don't need your help because I don't know so with Afri money. I dey able send money. Now Baku Africa countries them.
With Afri money, we dey able send money to over 10 African countries, whether it's Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, or Kenya. If me party we know this, we not follow the party grammar right now.
Okay, una go regret. Una go regret.
The best part right now, Michael, with Afri money, you dey able send money even if you not use app, even if you not the online directly. All you need for do, you just dial *161#. Pam, you money don't go. So I don't need the help again. Thief man.
Thank you.
Send money to over 10 African countries instantly with Afri Money. No stress, no excuses. Just dial *161*1*6# now. Afri Money, quick and easy.
Good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina, share happiness.
Welcome back. You're watching Wake Up Sierra Leone on the Africa Young Voices with me, Victor Jones. Yesterday, Sierra Leone joined the rest of the world to celebrate World Food Safety Day. The day draws attention to preventing, detecting and managing foodborne risks. In Sierra Leone, the day serves as a critical push to reduce foodborne illnesses and support the nation's broader Feed Salon initiative for food sovereignty. This initiative works to boost domestic agriculture while ensuring that the produced food meets hygiene and safety standards. Majority of citizens sources their food from local open air and traditional markets. Therefore, Local Food Safety Day initiative focuses heavily on training street food vendors, local transporters and market women on food safety. World Food Safety Day has been themed From Burden to Solutions, Safe Food Everywhere. Under the long-standing slogan, Food Safety is Everyone's Business, the campaign encourages all actors across the food supply chain, producers, transporters, inspectors and consumers to implement effective safety measures. For more details on the day, let's join our reporter, Mahima Tomi.
Food safety remains a pressing concern from the farm to the dining table. In market and storage facilities, rats damage rice and cassava stalks, while flies settle on exposed food in crowded trading centers. Research warns that contaminated food, poor hygiene, unsafe preservation methods, and improper storage continue to expose consumers to preventable diseases. Yet, as awareness grows, questions remain over the effectiveness of enforcement mechanisms and support available to small-scale food producers and traders. In local market, petty traders say they are taking greater precautions to safeguard customers and protect their livelihoods from the consequences of food contamination.
I take care of my food by covering it and keeping my area clean because flies are too many during the rainy season. We even use mosquito coils to drive them away. Everyone's stomach is different, so I preserve my food properly to avoid complaints. Flies move around dirty places like public toilets, so I can't take chances.
I deposit in the bag. Customer no can buy fish to me.
When I buy fish, I add preservatives and dry it properly so it won't spoil or smell. I want to maintain my sales because the economy is hard and customers expect value for their money.
No problem for the fish. I take very care of it. I market, I put on my pack. The customer come, I no go because I no get looking glass.
When I arrive at the market, I sweep first before displaying my produce. Presentation matters because customers judge what they see. Sales are difficult, so cleanliness helps attract buyers and also protect people's health.
And I go feel the pain more because waiting you know can buy to me again.
Members of the public also share their views on strengthening food safety awareness, particularly in busy and congested markets where risks are often highest.
Well, I would say 50-50.
I have bought street food before and gotten sick. Sometimes I vomit immediately or suffer frequent stooling for days, so I avoid those places afterward. I think government is trying when it comes to food safety, but sellers also have a big responsibility to take proper preservation, sanitation, and cleanliness are very important.
You know, sir, and maybe so you cook, you pick in stool, you go empty the stool, where you can wash your hand.
As Sierra Leone joins the global observance of World Food Safety Day 2026, stakeholders say stronger public awareness, cleaner markets, improved storage facilities, and more effective regulation remain essential to protecting consumers and sustaining businesses. Maria Matomi, AYV News, Freetown.
Right, many thanks indeed to AYV's Maria Matomi for putting that report together. Now this morning, to further discuss the importance of the day, we've been joined by the country's Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Henry Musa Parker. Good morning and welcome.
Morning, Victor, and thanks for having me.
Indeed, it's a pleasure having you. So, Minister, how much of a food crisis do we have in Sierra Leone when it comes to hygiene? Is it really a problem here or not?
Well, I liked the report that was done. It's very typical of our community where we are. I myself, I buy street food. There are two places I go. I get my suya from Babadori Junction. Okay. And then at College Junction, I get my goat ribs, usually. And every time you're there, every time I'm there, I ask the guys, they're cutting the meat and they're holding with their hands. So the other day I said to him, just this Friday, I said, you know they wear a glove? He say, well, the people that don't complain say, if you wear the glove, the plastic, they go inside the meat and all of that. And then you just, so even me, to all of us in the society, this is something we have to contend with. For me, I mean, there's a simple rule for me when I go to these places. The food has to be hot, so the meat is coming straight. And then when I go, I have to do something with it. And I have to say, actually, I have a very bad tummy every time I do that. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I'm used to it. We've been doing this for a long time in school days, and I still go. I go myself. And I think the vast majority of population actually suffers this, especially in the rainy season, even if in our homes. Mm-hmm. The other day I cooked and the flies were so many. Yeah. And I had to buy mosquito coil and just try to see how we can drive that. So I think it's a combination of the people selling. We have to have hygienic places where people are selling. And this is really hard in our society and where we are. If you're in any of these slums where they're selling stuff and the trash is there, or forget the slums. When everybody is driving from Waterloo to Upline and they see where we get our vegetables and food from the ground, which is next to the biggest dump sites of the city. And so it is a challenge, and one that is a multifaceted challenge that is going to require governments, that is going to require civil society, that is going to require the people ourselves to be able to address that. Government is doing its part in a lot of ways. So for us, under Feed Salon, where I will put this comes under nutrition for us. Okay. Food safety in a lot of ways. One of the first places we try to tackle that, there's a lot of, even before the food is cooked anyways, there are certain things that can be in food that will make it not safe for you to consume. So aflatoxin is this very nasty, insidious sort of toxin that you consume bit by bit, and over time it becomes cancerous. This is in maize, it's in groundnut, and all of that. And what we are doing as a strategy, as a program, is a very easy way to deal with that. You apply mycotoxins when you're planting these things, and they'll fight the aflatoxin. You also educate people how you bag and store. So if you harvested maize and you bag it, there has to be a particular type of bag that will squeeze the oxygen out so that the aflatoxin doesn't survive. So from our point, we begin to deal with that, right? We also very much care generally about the nutritional content of what people are eating. And our first step is that we are investing in crops that have, especially micronutrient deficiencies, your iron, your zinc, your vitamin A's. We are pushing quite big on that, whether it's orange flesh sweet potato, whether it's yellow cassava. These are all, from the research, we tell them we don't just want calories, we want nutrients in these calories. And one final thing that we're doing with SLARI and the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, it's to understand the nutritional content of our diet in the country. So what does that mean? WHO will tell you for every adult there's a certain level of protein you should eat, iron, oil, fat, and then this survey is going to take a look at each of our diets, so your cassava, leaf, and rice. How much of that does it have, and how much of that do you consume on a weekly basis? And therefore, what deficits do you have? And so that when we are pushing out recommendations for what our diet or nutrition should be, this is what it will be. So from Feed Salon, these are some of the steps that we're taking. First, to ensure that the nutrition that you need gets into your body. I know once the food is cooked, obviously that's not in our domain now. It's a general public space. Once it's cooked, it's in the public. Ministry of Health, Sanitation comes in, Standards Bureau comes in, but there's a role we have to play there, and that's how we address it.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that we don't have food variety in sale. Is it true? How many food
varieties
do we have here?
No, we have a lot. I mean, it's just no. We definitely have food varieties. There's a cultural habit, and I think it's one that actually was brought in or imported in a long time ago, of rice eating culture. I'm just coming from Accra, where it was a rice round table and there was a lot of conversation around jollof rice, jollof wars, all of that. But it was very clear that in Sierra Leone, we eat the most rice, more than any other of our peers in the sub-region. So I think it's a thing to look at, because we have so many different kinds of food that we can eat that can be, for certain people, even healthier. Of course, our parboiled rice is by far way healthier to consume than just white rice imported in. That part is known, it's true. but you can eat, you know, funde, you can eat. Every time I'm in Kwenadugu, Falaba, that side, that's what I eat. That's what they have. And it's so delicious. Yeah. And you can eat a lot of that stuff and you wouldn't even feel it, right? Of course, you have cassava that you can make in different kind of ways. Potatoes, yams. We have quite a lot, but rice has become the staple for us, and we consume a lot of it.
Whilst we're discussing this, do we have a tracker that informs us about how many people get sick from, you know, eating unsafe foods in Sierra Leone? In
Sierra Leone, I'll have to ask. We'll have to check with the Ministry of Health. I think they will be the most appropriate people to be able to answer that question. But it is something that we should definitely get. But I mean, look, this is a general. I tell you, even when I go by on Friday, I was at Babadori. I'm sure I'm going to forget after 2-3 weeks again. I'm going to be like, I really feel like eating suya. Let me go there again. It's a thing, and you can ask colleagues, friends. They can tell you it's a daily occurrence, and there's more of it in the rainy season because just of the environment that it creates for flies, you know, and all of that stuff. So we should all be vigilant. But I think it's widespread. It's not something that it is wide. It's just a certain type. Every time, maybe if there's a cholera outbreak or something that is more problematic for public health reasons, then we want to quickly tackle that and pay attention to that. But that, you know, we should ask the Public Health Commission or Ministry of Health for that information and for just people to just be tracking when they get these, whether it's minor or major. That can really help.
You know, the broader side of things. A while ago, I was discussing with a medical doctor, and you know, we had a very funny discussion. The same suya you mentioned. So the doctor was saying that it is not good to be consuming huge quantities of suya, given that, you know, it's being smoked first, you know, and particles of the smoke, you know, latches onto the meat, and then people consume that. In the long run, it can cause some serious health complications for people. But a lot of people don't know this, you know. In fact, for us here, the taste of smoke is quite delicious, you know. But I'm making this case because I want to understand exactly. Is it that the country or the Ministry of Agriculture needs to start certifying foods that are safe on our streets?
It wouldn't be the Ministry of Agriculture. It would be, like I said, it's a public health situation generally and sanitation. So that will be their department. We need that. And I think all restaurants already do that. I think the challenge we have, because we have a lot of street vendors, every now and then somebody's going to pop up with a small thing in the corner, and they're selling something. So it becomes very hard in terms of capacity-wise for governments to go after. But it's also a general, if you go to some place and eat it and get diarrhea, you most likely are not going to go there again, especially if it's severe, right? I usually at the weekend, I'm in the peninsula, and maybe I go for a run, and then now maybe every 3 or 4 kilometers, somebody now has, especially early in the morning, speakers say, he's shouting Kokride or hot pap. Come eat. And then you turn and it's just a shack that they've been made, and there are guys sitting there and eating. So it becomes very difficult for governments to be able to track and follow. But every place that is registered as a restaurant, food place, I think they usually have certification to be serving healthy, sanitary, safe food to people in public. To go after street vendors that just pop up in the corners is different. We should be doing spot check on those. We definitely should. And I think they do that. But it's just the rate at which they pop up and the capacity to do it is a different thing. So it's kind of like a self-policing mechanism that we have developed to be able to tackle that.
From the Ministry of Agriculture's perspective, what does this particular day signify? Food safety?
No, I think it's a very important part of the Feed Salon program because part of what we're doing is not just producing food. There's a whole food security aspect, which is for people to consume safe, healthy food with nutrition for them. So this is a big part of it. It also signifies another part of the value chain where we want to add value. So food processing, all of these kinds of things are a big part of it as well, right? Feet Alone, the food chain, we're the originators of it because we help to grow it, but we want to see the value addition, which is also what we're saying in Feet Alone. The jobs that come with clean cooking, cooking to serve food, the processing of the food, jobs are a big part of it for Feet Alone. The incomes that come as a result, they're a big part of it. So we think this is one of those days that takes not only Ministry of Agriculture or Feet Alone, but Ministry of Health, Standards Bureau, everybody as the community to ensure that food safety, the safety of the food that we eat for our health is ensured for those that are doing it out there.
I'm happy you touched on clean cooking. It's a very crucial area these days, especially when you're talking about transitioning, in energy, for example, climate change and all of that. In Ghana, for example, across Accra, in most of the outfits, they're using gas, not charcoal, not wood. But here we are still clogged on to using these ancient ways of cooking. Still, even in the open, in the streets, there are people who sell quote-unquote cookery at McDonald's. They still cook in the open, rising emissions and all of that. At what point do we get to, in Sierra Leone, where I would say, this is a national policy now? Because it's all tied to food safety. Mind you, emission, the smoke can also contaminate the food.
So, I think there are already a lot of efforts in this regard. I can tell you the Ministry of Environment is a big proponent of clean cooking. PICREF, the outfit that KKY leads, is a big proponent of that. And there are a lot of initiatives, and I know, in fact, there are tax incentives given for clean cooking, tax incentives given for gas for cooking. So there's already there. The challenge we have, I think there are two levels. Now, Ghana's per capita GDP is a little bit higher than ours, eating cultures or how it is. So when you start saying a national policy, the backlash you get is you're going to get a vast majority of the people that cannot yet afford this, and you don't want to burden them. So as per the today's theme, from burden to solutions, you don't want to bring solutions that also burden people that cannot yet afford it. And you and I know, outside of Freetown, gas cooking is still not a thing. Maybe except for some major cities and people that are a little bit middle class here. Other than that, the vast majority are using wood or even my mom is only 5'3". When I came back to live in Sierra Leone some 6 years ago is when I said you have to use gas, and I helped her with the tabletop. But even when I go, also the way we cook. You have gone to funerals or birthday parties where my mom, this is big pot, and there are women, and they are using the stick to mix, and there is no amount of gas stove that exists for now to be able to cook like that. And I can tell you there's a vast majority of people that are doing this. And so I hear you. It's a development process. But as government, we are laying that foundation. We are making those policies so that when we eventually catch up as a society, that platform will be there for the businesses around that to quickly take up, for people to want and buy and afford and feel like it's a good thing. And eventually, culturally, we will catch up and make provisions so that if you're cooking for 100 people in a big pot, there's a stove with gas that can allow you to do that.
So, Mr. let's talk about the much talked about. I mean, every time I'm sure journalists ask you about this, the Tomabom Rice project.
Yes.
How far have we gone with this?
Today is Food Safety Day. We have to talk about Tomabo. That's good. That's good. Look, we are far gone in Tomabom. It actually been for my standard. It's been over 2 months since I was there.
Okay.
I'll tell you what's happening that is really fascinating. Tomabom government decided we were going to invest in the public infrastructure there to attract private sector to come in. And the public infrastructure, there are two folds. One was the irrigation work that is ongoing, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Second is the road from Koribondo all the way to Tomabom. And on that front, we, as part of the pledges that were made 2 years ago in Vienna with the president, Badia, we had done feasibility studies, giving it to them, they've accepted, and they are now working on taking that to the board for approval for that road. The irrigation, it was a 20,000 hectare plan that we took. We're doing 5,000 hectares of that. I believe by the end of December this year, 1,000 or 2,000 of that will be finished in terms of the irrigation work. But the fascinating thing is, even before all of that is finished, private sector that we wanted to attract there are already there. I can tell you this year, every year, we're producing more rice in Tomabom than the previous year, since I've been minister, every year. And this year, it's even more technical because people are learning. So these private sector folks that are there, they are doing over 1,500. This one individual, one private sector group, over 1,500. They did 600 last year. They're doing over 1,500. Another group is doing 800. Another group is doing 1,000. So there's quite a lot happening there, and it's one of these days we should go there. If you go there, you can really see this is the place. This is the hubbub for rice production. All the aspects of the value chain, the mechanization, the logistics, the milling, all of that, it's all set up there, and it's a vibrant place. The paramount chief there is so grateful to us that we have brought life back to that place in the most vibrant way. So the rice that will come from Tomabom this year after harvest is going to be more than what happened last year, even before the irrigation is finished. So rice from Tomabom is happening. What we haven't succeeded in doing is to actually brand made in Tomabom, and because we need to do that and push that not only in that area, but bring, I can tell you, when last I was there was rice in the store packed, and the chief was telling me people have rice and they are eating, but because folks here don't see it in Freetown, you're always going to ask me, so I'm going to help myself by pushing those partners that are there. We need to produce this rice, bag it, put it made in Tomabom, bring it to Freetown and elsewhere so that folks can actually see that this is happening.
What quality is it of? Is it of high quality?
Well, these folks that are there, the challenge, so the reason why I like working with the private sector is they want to make money or need to make money to survive. And to make money, you have to be competitive. Competitive in two senses, your price and the quality. And these are guys that actually are one of the importers of rice in this country. And the challenge is you have to mimic the parboiled rice that comes in into this country for you to be able to displace or replace some of that importation that comes in the country. So it is going to be of high quality. Already, I think the last time I was here, I mentioned this. CTC, that is the biggest rice importer into Sierra Leone, came because they're beginning to see that some of the rice that we import in the country is of high quality. I had some rice in my office. I have some rice displayed, local rice that people produce. And then they came and then they brought their seeds of rice that's imported, and we brought and we put it. And if somebody didn't tell you, you would not know the difference. And so there's a lot of people that are doing really high quality. Mountain lion rice in towards Makeni. Fantastic quality. You will not tell their parboiled rice. You will not tell. Lots of other smaller millers are also producing quite a lot.
Have you been able to quantify each year's production from Tomabom?
each year's production from Tomabom? Well, it's a good question. It's a perfect segue to, we just did, every year what we do an annual production and yield survey for our core crops, priority crops that we care about. And I've pushed my team that we need to be pushing this out, say March 15 latest every year, but they've told me that's a bit hard to do because up until March, some people are still harvesting. But last week, it's a long process where international partners, local partners like finance, statistics, Moped, they validated this report, which is our national production and yield survey. And it's not only that, they ask things about what varieties, whether you use fertilizer and all of that. We just released that. We're going to put that on our website. It was validated Friday. They presented to me the validated version. We're going to put it on our website. And really, really, really interesting facts coming. I can show you. We have for every district, rice, for example, how much rice was produced, how much yield we got from it. Top line, for example, for rice, since that's what we're talking about, in 2023, that season, we produced, the area that we produced was about 610,494 hectares. In 2024, it was 636,473 hectares. In 2025, this season that just finished, it was 661 and 16 hectares. That's a 3% jump. In terms of paddy, 2023 was 1.32 million metric tons paddy. The other one, that's 2023. 2024 was 1.38 paddy million metric tons. This year, this one is 1.44 million metric tons. Our self-sufficiency has gone up from 68 in 2023, 72 in 2024, and 73 in the latest one. I can give you by district where Bont, so rice production for Bont, where are we? Bont actually, rice production by districts and ecology. Bont, where Tomabom is, there is generally, that's where we're getting the most. So there it was, actually also in terms of yield, let me give you more information actually because it's important. In terms of yield, which is a very important marker for us, slow progress. Yields are very hard to improve for many reasons because you have the same technology. You have to have the practices has to change and mechanize. But we're seeing a slight jump. So from basically from 2023, we are 2.13, 2024 we're 2.18, but there's a slight jump between 2024 to now this year from 2.18 to 2.37 metric tons per hectare. That's a 9% jump, which is quite good. And we're getting the biggest jump in the inland valley swamp areas. There the yields are like 3, you can see 3.5 even metric tons per hectare. Bont, where Tomabom is, this is 2.03 metric tons per hectare, and we produce 90,000 paddy, 90,000 metric tons of paddy there. Tomabom specifically, I know part of this is captured, but I know the big private sector players and what the projects are doing. Last year, we did maybe close to about 5,000, 6,000 hectares there. Just a handful. There's like 2 projects there and 3 or 4 private sector last year. That's going to be about 6,000. So that will give you close to about, maybe 18 or 12,000, between 12,000 and 18,000 metric tons of paddy produced by those guys. But now, the smallholder farmers that make up this 90,000 I've given you are the ones that are doing the vast majority of production there.
At the back end of that, I think the practical sense of things is that people should start seeing, these branded sacks of rice on the shelves in stores and convenient, places to buy.
Yeah.
So because if we're able to tell the impact of these production on the market, on the lives of the people, then it will make more sense. Don't you think so?
Yeah, no. I mean, look, in terms of branding, I completely, this is a task that we are on. Yeah. And by the way, we're not starting from zero. We're on our way to that. Like I'm saying, I have at least 6 or 7 brands of people that are making decent rice, nicely packaged, on my desk. And some of them have them in supermarkets. Some of them, if you call them in World Food or all of these things, they will have them display. In fact, what we've decided, over the weekend I was talking to somebody, for World Food Day this year, we're going to probably provide prize for the most beautiful branded rice, not just quantity, but processed and branded rice, and we will sort of promote that. We'll launch that for folks. But this is already well on the way. And in terms of impact of the production in the market, that's happening. You have seen a steady drop in not only imported rice price because of policy, but also local rice price is also following that closely. That's because there's a lot of this production and the quality people are happy with and they are buying as well. So that impact is being felt, is available. We haven't come to a scenario where people are like, rest not in a market for buy. This is not a thing that has happened for the longest time. That one, rest not in a market for buy. I used to know when there were many periods in this country where this is a thing. Okay. If you get one bag rest, you get luck. We don't have that now. It's there. The prices are becoming affordable, even more affordable by the day. So the impact is there. What is being imported and what is being produced, you can see. So it's available. We need to work on branding and pushing it. Okay. And it's a bigger effort for if you're trying to displace imported rice. It's a bigger effort. And the challenge is there. I think you and I, we've talked about this quite a bit, where the places where we're importing rice from, they have been supported and subsidized for the longest time and long ago. And so it builds up. And we are catching up again post-war and putting those institutions, those infrastructure in place so that we can produce rice to have the same quality and be cheaper than rice that is produced and shipped to Sierra Leone. And once we get that, then that challenge, and we will come to our people. This is something some of us, we've started. Parboiled rice is better than the white rice that comes. Rice that is produced here and packaged here in a 6 months period and it's or less, or 2 months, it's in the market. It's healthier than rice that is being kept for years in the store, because the rice that we get here is not rice that they just produce and ship. They process it, put it in stores, in silos for years, and then send it here. That's the rice we get here. And we need to tell our people that. It's just the rice that we get here. Speaking of safety, nutrition, what's safe for you, our local rice, safer for you, fresher, tastier, all of that. We need to work on, some people say, oh, stones and this and that. Yeah, there's some of that. And the smart guys, the guys that are at the frontier of this, are helping and reducing that now. But if you're going to buy rice and it's coming from Vietnam or these places, they're not giving you the fresh rice. It's stuff that has been in the silo minimum 5 years, minimum, because they have orders that's been placed and they send that and they sell it cheaply because they can, right? And that's what we get here. And our people need to hear that. But until we start flooding our markets ourselves, when we push that message, we don't want for them to say, oh, but we're not seeing at the markets, all of those kinds of things.
Can it get cheaper than this, particularly the Walla rice, which is the local?
It can get cheaper than this. Okay. The reasons, and that's what we're working on. It doesn't get cheaper than this because I'm telling you right now that our average yield is now 2.37. Yeah. You need to hit 3.5 metric tons per hectare. That's one step. Second, if we make the road so that when you are processing your rice to bring it to Freetown, folks now have to put their rice on bikes, one bag at a time, because sometimes the road is impassable. You're not going to make money if you're going to increase the price because you don't want to make all of it, right? If when you're processing, you have power, you don't have to buy diesel, which by the way is just going up, it's out of our control. When you mill your rice, you're not going to. So I experienced this firsthand. Last December, I bought 200 bags of rice from Mountain Lion to, for the Christmas giving and all these kinds of things. It was at the price of imported rice. I wanted to do this. We had a program in Pujo, and I wanted to buy 100 bags. It had gone up, and their reason was we mill with diesel. Diesel prices was from 20 something, it's 40 now. So once we fix all of that, we can begin to see our local rice price coming down even faster. And then we get more people producing and increasing more land that we have under cultivation.
Let's go back to the food safety discussion we began with. How much of the budget for the feed salon program is committed to food safety, would you say?
We don't have food safety per se.
Okay.
We have nutrition. Nutrition, which captures that in a way.
Okay.
It captures that in a way. And again, we haven't broken it down necessarily because it's such a integrated cross-cutting issue, right? It will go to, you will get money for that. Under what goes for the scientists that do the breeding. It will go to people, the extension work that have to push out these technologies that are rich in micronutrients that get out. It will go to investments around processing, right? So, and it's not just rice, it's cassava, it's vegetables. So it's really hard to kind of tell how much we have. But I think, I'm sure Ministry of Health, the public health folks should be able to tell you. They may have a specific thing to track diseases that are born out of these kinds of things and what they do to fight that effort. But even they themselves, it was not going to capture the entirety of what you need to do to be able to, which is why at the Sun Secretariat, where there's also scale in nutrition, as you can see, nutrition actually is so cross-cutting. Agriculture is involved, health, VP's office, Standards Bureau. And so to capture that money, you have to talk to each of these folks to see what is there really from government to tackle the challenge.
Whilst we discuss, food safety as well, we have to take into consideration environmental concerns now, climate change and even environmental degradation in most parts of the country, not least the provincial areas where some of these crops are being grown. So there are farmers who are now complaining that their farms are being flooded, being covered, submerged completely by flood waters. This is a concern for your ministry.
This year, that has not started yet. Okay. 2 years ago, it was a major issue, and we addressed it by launching the first ever index weather insurance, where if you pay a small premium, and then for for insurance, if the water levels, it's a very simple formula. There is an agreed level, whether it's flood or heat. Once flood levels, water levels are more than that, it's considered flooding. And then depending on what you pay for your premium, you can get a payout. And the same thing for heat, for that as well. Since we did that, 2 other insurers have come into the business, and we are now working very hard to even have a national, this was a small pilot, working to have a national policy. UNCDF is helping us with support from the EU, and the experts were in the room. And just last week, there was a big stakeholder engagements that they had on this. And very soon, before the end of the year, there will be a national policy, and there we will ask governments to put a skin in the game a little bit, because this one we did was all from donor funding, but we'll ask, and we're doing that in part because we want to provide insurance for climate change. Our other efforts around climate change, so this will be a mitigation measure. Adaptation measures are also there, where we tell people, first of all, we have a big investment in the weather. Our partner, SL Met, where we've provided for them 14 weather station high-end equipment across the country to collect data, and working to build an app so that they can push that information to farmers about characterizing where how much rain, when to expect, to help guide farmers when to plant, when to cultivate or not. So that's our adaptation measure. That's been done. And that will be tied into our, and this, by the way, this support is from the World Bank, from the FSRP program, where it's a big investment in that system, so that we can really guide and educate our farmers appropriately with data. And we're building that. It's stacks and stacks of information. There's an early warning system that we've also developed from the World Bank funded FSRP program. There's support to SLMet from the World Bank FSRP program. You begin to put all of that together. We have an early warning system. This data feeds into that. Then we can begin to say, okay, you act this way or don't act this way, or we package that in extension information to farmers. So climate change is here. We know it's a big part of our consideration, and every farmer's consideration. They are the first, they have the most knowledge of this, and we look to them to guide us. But where we can bring data that only government can collect to be able to inform that, we're doing that, and set up early warning systems. For that, we're building, we have that infrastructure set up for that.
Is the Ministry of Agriculture collaborating with places like, for example, City Council, Ministry of Health, even standards, because we're discussing food safety, then all of these agencies are, interlinked in between? Because you've said yourself, most of these stalls that are being built on the streets are unhygienic. People eat there. A lot of flies, most times close to garbage, centers and all of that. Can you advise in any way, other ministries to take active step to help, curb, the menace around the food safety generally in Sierra Leone? We're used to it, but it's not.
No,
it doesn't mean that it's the right thing.
No. Yeah, of course, certainly not. And when I say where we are, it's not to say we need to stay there. We obviously need to improve. Yeah. I'm sure, I don't have the data. I'm sure they will tell us people that die from foodborne illnesses. Yeah. Ministry of Health can give you that statistics, and it will be a high figure. And at periods like this is when that will go up. And I'm sure they are working actively to reduce that number. But to your first question, yes, we are working collaboratively with other ministries. Like I said, the Sun Secretariat is hosted at the VP's office because it's to provide a platform where everybody that has anything to do with that, nutrition and food safety, is coordinated from that standpoint. Under Feeds Alone, our nutrition work, when we do it, we pull on everybody as well in a coordinated manner to be able to address that. Food safety is a cross-cutting, is a community-based, is like you said, it's the municipalities, it's their codes, because at the central level you can only do so much, but it's in the communities where somebody's just going to pop up and say, this is my cookery shop. And by the way, if somebody's hungry and his cookery is worked all day, food is just there next to where they're working, they'll go eat. It's our job to be able to help them. And our job as government, but our job as community people, to make sure that what they will consume is not going to kill them or give them some illness.
So, Minister, as we round off generally, what next should we look up to when it comes to the area of food safety from the Ministry of Agriculture? What you can do, basically.
Yeah, no, what we can do, like I've said, I'm really very much looking forward to the expansion of our nutrition work in the areas that I started, where we want to reduce aflatoxin in these grains that we consume, so your maize, your groundnuts, even in cassava. So we have a lot of conversation on how you can tackle them by how you grow them, but also after you've harvested, how you store them, so PICS bags, even in the rice, right? That's something we are pushing big on. Also pushing big on micronutrients, yellow cassava, orange flesh, sweet potato, zinc in rice, golden rice. This is something we want, it's hybrid, it's something that we want to introduce here. It's all part of the food nutrition part of it. And then in collaboration with other ministries working around processing, how you process food so that it's safe when you're making gari, acheke, all of these sort of things, so that it's safe for the final consumer eventually. From our side, when it comes to the cooking and processing of that, there's a lot we do with education, with school feeding and all of that. They take that. That's another point where we take very seriously and collaborate with them, and they lead on that front. But that's where we're also working, and we'll continue to push our efforts in this direction to make sure we are nourishing people with food being produced here, and eventually when it's cooked, it's contributing to their health rather than giving them illnesses.
Just to follow up on that, Mr. Minister, I'm not sure if it was you or another ministry that was involved in branding and packaging of our local producers.
Eggs, we've tried with eggs.
Because I think that's quite crucial.
Yes, with local eggs, we had a campaign to buy salon for feed salon. The Poultry Association people are quite active and vigilant, and I am with them. And with poultry, with eggs especially, we've increased the production so much that every day since I was last here, I'm sure I can report that there's at least 2 or 3 more new poultries that are cropping up that are going to do more than 30,000, 40,000 eggs per day. So there's no reason you want to be importing, you want to be eating. Speaking of food safety, there's no reason you want to be eating imported eggs that take 8 to 10 weeks at sea before they land here. And then you consume, and then all that process, whereas the egg can come today, tomorrow you can consume fresh. That's food safety for us, right? And we launched that campaign, and it's been successful, and we keep pushing, and I think we should launch similarly with rice also, really telling people our parboiled rice, fresh one, is really good for us as well. So those campaigns from our side we will continue to do when it comes to things like that, to really demonstrate in terms of not only health-wise, but even taste, all of these things that is good for you to consume local and fresh with certain things.
Right. So, Minister, thank you so very much indeed for joining us this morning. We'd hope to be getting you as usual from time to time to talk about this, but more specifically, food safety. It's a very crucial area. A lot of people say street food sweets, and so Bokumangi say, but street food bag get problem. Bokumangi get jams from there, kind of food then they. I just think we need to be more careful, with food production, even how they sell stuff. But a lot of market people will tell you that now the marketplaces are not available better. So man go say I'm not getting side for sale. This is
well, this is, by the way, this is very true, and I that has just brought one more thing to my mind. With funding from the World Bank, and this is in collaboration with Ministry of Transport. There is funding to erect market stalls. Not only like it's done in Lumley or all these places, but in the rural areas. There's a storage, there's a market facility, there's water, there's all these sanitary issues around there to allow. So this is, we did the bridges and we're doing roads. So the market access also, we would erect marketplaces for farmers to bring their produce to sell. This is something that is ongoing. The consultants have designed these markets, and we're ready in collaboration with Ministry of Transport. We're ready to go, and we identify the locations. I think a number of them across the country actually. Those ones, some of them will replace these periodic places that are on the roadsides also, that can sometimes be, God forbid, there's an accident and sometimes you're traveling, there's these markets on the roadside. So we want to build proper structures for them. And actually, we're doing this in Bondapi, where we have a big rice cluster. We've built a massive facility there where it's going to transform what used to happen in Bondapi. There's 2 storage facilities that can take 2,000 metric tons of grains, and then other small stores and toilet facilities and wash stations and power, and it's fenced, right? and we encourage folks to bring their stuff. So that's also something that we continue to do, and we're going to do even more of this year with the support from the World Bank in the Kami project.
Dr. Parker, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning.
Yes.
We're going for a short break, but when we're back, we shall be discussing, there's a 30-year-old mother of 4 at Moiba community in the eastern part of Freetown who is actually alleged that, she was forced into, joining the Bondo Society. We shall be discussing the issue when we come back. Stay tuned.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like Wakeup SIM Copper.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
Sorry, car, go see some business partners.
You didn't give me my money, Michael. Can if I can say you remember this camp people in no to in Andy.
Today you dey pay me my money. I don't send it for let you help me send money in Ghana. 2 weeks now you not send me money and 10 you not give me back my money. Today you dey give me my money.
You know ever sabi goodness na life. I dey send back your money, but trust me, today na the very last day I dey ever send money for now.
I don't need your help because I don't know so with Afri money I dey able send money. Now Baku Africa countries them.
With Afri money, we dey able send money to over 10 African countries, whether it's Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, or Kenya. If me party know this, we not follow the party grammar right now.
Okay, una go regret. I mean, now una go regret.
The best part right now, Michael, with Afri money, you dey able send money even if you not use app, even if you not the online directly. All you need for do, you just a dial *161#. Pam, your money don't go. So I don't need the help again. Thief man.
Thank you.
Send money to over 10 African countries instantly with Afri Money. No stress, no excuses. Just dial *161*1*6# now. Afri Money, quick and easy.
Good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina. Share happiness.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes up waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sarah juice because they make come from with local foods them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now you make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice and nutritious, it healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salone.
All right, welcome back. You're still watching Wake Up Sierra Leone on the Africa Young Voices television. You're also hearing us on radio this morning on 101.7. Don't forget to chime in on the conversation online by dropping a comment on any of our socials, Facebook, YouTube, or even the recent TikTok. Now, next to a human rights issue, where new evidence, has emerged from the World Health Organization, shining a harsh light on the consequences of female genital mutilation. Now, a 2025 WHO guideline and a major study conducted with the United Nations Human Reproduction Program reviewed more than 75 studies across 30 countries. The findings are stark. Women have undergone FGM are nearly 3 times more likely to experience expression or anxiety, and more than 4 times more likely to suffer post-traumatic stress disorder. In Sierra Leone, a 30-year-old woman from the Moiba community in the eastern part of Freetown is now seeking justice after what she alleges was a forced initiation into the female genital mutilation, well, Bondo for short. AYV's Yero Jallo compiled an exclusive interview with key authorities. The 30-year-old recounts a story marked by fear, flight, and uncertainty. Let's see.
Like a bird trapped in a storm, the 30-year-old says her life was being tossed between fear and survival. She alleges that members of a female secret society forcibly initiated her into Bondo society, a traditional practice often associated with female genital mutilation in Sierra Leone. She says she later fled after efforts were made to compel her to become a Sowe, a key figure within the society. The 30-year alleges she endured physical and emotional abuse from her husband, mother-in-law, and members of the secret society. She was in hiding, but the Ministry of Social Welfare has stepped forward. But fear has been tracked down by relatives and community members who are determined to force her return. If true, her escape paints a picture of vulnerability. It also raises difficult questions about consent, culture, and the protection of women's rights.
The man go tell and say me no go society. I don't know because they don't prepare all thing. Now they say for us, okay, whoa, then we then get case with people there. They for go check we in the model law in Pala. Now they don't go to we. Now they at map na do. Back I don't afraid. Now I say they were then go check me. Then go do me something. Now them back answers. I say okay, me I no go Bondo. Now do people then flop. Now I say they not satisfied me. Then for go check we man. Now they don't go to it inside. The so there. Yeah, they all me. Now I say look go inside. Now I don't go to it. Now I name Nandewa. I say in achieve so by the community. Now I put me back by the society. And I say if me no lead or if me tan. The other if say bomb, they sit down by me. Me the peace by me say. They don't only ready. They don't hold me. They don't pull now the thing for put me. They sit down by me. Now they cut me yourself. Me come. I didn't cut her. But go to the cut and I begin to Allah God. I say God can't fight for me. I say can't fight for me. They were offend me to the say they put me per Bondo. I say God can't fight for me. The man who me and me now in Pala. And they didn't put me. They don't put me. They didn't left food. They say the boy go to me back to the thief. So the all on tower. They say they agree. And they call money. Baku money for now. Then they pay. They free me. If you don't not pay that money, then they no go put me pass away. My mama no get. My people they no get. I no be feel fine for grabbing me. I not able. They no give me medicine. Now take say to this time. They no give me Panadol. Say they no want.
Seeking protection, the woman reported the matter to the Ross Road police station.
I go to police. I don't report. I don't do all things.
Responding to the allegation, Sierra Leone's First Lady condemned any form of forced initiation.
For any kind of circumcision when they force the person, I know they in favor of that. And I believe say the government of Sierra Leone don't make them very clear say at the age of 18, if the person give a consent say he want for join Bondo society, then are the person in choice at the age of 18. a day na the law of Sierra Leone. But I want for first say to Binta, if what you allege say did happen to you, I think that is not a good thing and it is wrong. Now, if you want follow, we all go rally with you. You no need for hide again. If this year they don't actually do them to you, you need for come forward, because you not go only to protect yourself, but you go protect as many other young people them as possible.
The Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs continues to lead government's advocacy on FGM and harmful traditional practices, but the challenges is complex. FGM initiation remains deeply woven into the social fabric of many African communities. Sierra Leone still does not have a specific national law that explicitly bans FGM.
Against our human rights. It's a violation against our human rights. It should not have happened. It has no place to exist in society. For me, I think the law has to look into this critically. Of course, we are the ministry. We're there to protect. But you have also another aspect, which is the judiciary, where the law comes in. And so we are also following events to see what will happen, and then how the ministry can also ensure that we continue to give the required support to the women and their children. So there is a law which has, which initially the bill had the clause for FGM, but this is for children under 18. And we took that law to Parliament, and Parliament refused and removed the particular clause that should hold people responsible when they forcefully initiate people. But let us not discuss about this now. Let us look at the human rights violation. Why you forcefully conscript somebody and then initiate. So human rights institutions should come in.
Anti-FGM campaigners say the battle against forced initiation remains steep and stubborn. Cases reported over the years in places such as Putloko and Kenema suggest that the problem is not isolated. Critics argues that while awareness campaigns have multiplied, enforcement mechanism remains weak. Secret societies continue to wield significant cultural influence. For many young women, silence becomes a shield and fear becomes a prison. Chairperson of the Forum Against Harmful Practices, Rukia Tunene Ture Kuruma, says campaigners believe regional human rights mechanisms, including rulings linked to ECOWAS courts, place a responsibility on Sierra Leoneans to strengthen protections for women and girls.
Mutilated. Khadija was mutilated because they said she had a quarrel. The same thing with Kadiatu, the first one, and this other one. So we are very much concerned about what is happening. And we believe the ECOWAS court has ruled against the government of Sierra Leone for failing to protect women and girls.
There is a Human Rights Commission which is charged with the mandate to promote and protect fundamental rights. Rights advocates argue that forced initiation involving FGM violates the rights to health, bodily integrity, dignity, and freedom and cruel treatment. AYV sought the Commission's position on the current case, but the request for an interview was declined. They argue that they cannot comment on the matter because it is under investigation. Across Sierra Leone, awareness campaigns continue. Sowers, chiefs, activists, and community leaders are being brought into dialogue. The practice persists. Like a river that keeps finding new channels, the debate continues to flow between tradition and rights. The question remains, when will forced initiation end? And why do many victims still struggle to find protection before harm occurs? For AYV News, Yero Jallo reports.
All right, indeed, thanks indeed to Yero Jallo for putting that report together. So this morning, to further discuss this issue, I'm joined by the Executive Director, Human Rights Defenders Network, Alphonsus B.M. Bani, Executive Secretary, Human Rights Defenders Network. We are also expecting to be joined this morning, one of the campaigners for this harmful practice, Rugiatu Nene Kuruma Ture, who I'm told is on her way. But we can begin the discussion. But welcome, Alphonsus. Good morning. It's a pleasure having you.
Good morning, viewers.
Yes. From the superficial level, what does this tell you about human rights in Sierra Leone? I mean, I know you've assessed the issue. What are your honest assessments so far?
Well, it suggests that there is some element of the rights to violation of association, the rights to freedom of association, from the clip presented by your presenter. It's like the woman was forcefully initiated, and she has the right to associate, and she has the right not to associate. And because she did not give her consent, that is a violation of her rights. And if in doing the practice itself, and you heard her that they did some cutting, then which means they have also inflicted some amount of pain on her, which is also not right. So on the basis of the principle of the rights of the woman, it is wrong. It is not correct, and we condemn that. If that's the case, we condemn it in its totality. But the culture itself has some challenges. And I know way back our people will say this is a culture, this is a tradition. It's a practice way back. But when you look at the origin of the Bondo society, which our previous ancestor, Madam Yoko, was pushing for, this is a society where the principle first that they are, that is the area where you go as a woman to prepare yourself for your womanhood, maybe going to your marital home or whatsoever. So in that context, we never read, and I've never heard from my grandparents that they were taking children like 1 year old, 2 years, even 18, sometimes like maybe we can say 18, because during those years when your breast, they suggest that you are now at a puberty because they don't know the age. So they just look at the way how the breast of the younger, those years. And when you go into that society, you don't spend 2 days or 3 days. Sometimes they spend years in preparing you as to how you can manage your home, taking care of your kids, your husband, or everything about domestic issues. So that's the area also they build your character. Okay. So how you relate yourself or you communicate with community members where you find yourself. So if that's been the fact or the basis of that culture and tradition, now let's ask ourselves, is that what we are practicing now today? If the answer is yes, then I will challenge it. If the answer is no, then I will say, why are we still continuing with short practices? And the most disheartening aspect of this whole thing is, I give kudos to the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs, and particularly from the minister herself. They did extremely well. We know that for sure, this is a practice that has become immune in the culture of people. So it is difficult to detach it from our old women, and which I give respect to them. But the government, through the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs, initiated a simple, basic, just response to to this tradition as to how the practice itself should go. That they introduced into the amended Child Rights Act before it was passed in Parliament an age limit for 18 years and below, and if you initiate them, you commit such a crime and you are punishable by law with short amount of fine. And to our greatest disappointment, that portion in that draft, in that amended act, was removed by Parliament. That they cannot bastardize that tradition. The question is, what is the tradition? How tradition is this tradition? People that we are taken, we are spending years in the sacred bush, preparing them for marital status. Is the parliamentarian telling us, and by the way, I was driving from Lunge yesterday. I went to collect one of our guests. We missed the ferry, so we used the Poloko axis. Just after Lunge, driving towards Poloko, we came across a number of children that were initiated. I counted about 7, whom I believe that they are below the age, between the age of 4 and even 9, that were initiated. So the question for the parliamentarians, not for even everybody, because the Ministry of Social Welfare, the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs did an extensive consultation to factor in that particular aspect of age limits to start, at least to respond to this issue of controlling the practice itself, so that we don't see children going through the process. So when you're above 18, you can now freely, if you want to. But Parliament removed that.
Wasn't deliberate anyway. Many people, including the First Lady, have said that the laws say that you have to be above 18 years or 18 plus to be, joined into FGM.
Yeah, with all due respect to the First Lady, I appreciate her condemnation, condemning the act itself, the forceful initiation, but I disagree with the statement of the First Lady. Her statement is misleading in the fact that the law does not prohibit the initiation of children below the age of 18. Parliament removed that aspect of the amended Child Rights Act. They remove it. You heard also from the minister who said that it was there, but Parliament removed it. So the reference that the First Lady was making, that it's the government has moved, taken a proactive step to ensure that nobody is initiated below the age of 18, that statement is misleading. I think probably the First Lady has not been informed as to the level or the state at which the act was passed in Parliament.
We've just been joined as well by the Executive Director, Human Rights Defenders Forum Against Harmful Practices, Rogetu Nene Komature. Good morning and welcome. Good morning. It's a pleasure having you. Are you worried about this whole situation? How worried are you?
I'm very worried. Worried because the trend at which the Sowes are going about courting women rampantly is very worrisome as a nation. Yeah. Other countries are moving forward through their legislative arm of government. They are making laws. But for Sierra Leone, you see that there is no readiness from our parliamentarians, as well as so many other influential people,
Have you checked the authenticity of this alleged, forceful conscription that we are all talking about? Have you checked whether indeed it did happen?
One of the things I first want people to know is we need to respect the victim.
Okay.
What we did as a coalition, as a movement was, we sent people to pay a visit when we had the distressful call. And as a woman who have gone through the procedure as she explained, you can only be able to explain what she explained when you suffered it. There is no way you can make up stories. And it's also worried that the First Lady could go on here to say the woman is not saying the truth. Because we've been to the police like 3 times. The matter was a family support unit. And we say that this has nothing to do with family support unit. It has to do with the CID. So it was transferred to CID.
And one of the things we asked was, we want to see this police report. And the police clearly told us that as long as the report is with them, they will not show the report to anybody. Well, we are worried that if we don't see the report, there might be some kind of changes that we don't want to predict. But having the experience from what has been happening, you know, including from the girls that died, the woman who died. And so we say we wanted it, but they could not give it to us. But we spoke with the woman. And for me, as a survivor, who have dealt with so many other women in our situation, I trust her. But so what I have done is to make contact with the ministry to say, we need to go to see this woman again. As far as I'm concerned, I will not say the woman is not saying the truth. I will not say the medical report is not saying the truth, because I have witnessed it in communities. We have taken cases to police stations. We always make sure we have photocopies. But in this case, the woman went to the police without us. So she could not remember of photocopying the police report. So until we go back and see her, I still stand by what she says.
Yes, so let's go deeper a bit. I mean, you've been campaigning against these sort of things for a long time now. You know, the same with Alfonso seated beside you this morning. But if we are indeed to understand, I'm not, and again, I want you to understand that I'm not being insensitive to the issue. I mean, in my line of work, proof or facts are quite important to what we do. I mean, just a while ago, just because of that video that the First Lady has made, she has sort of discredited a lot of media in this country who had actually reported on the issue. Now, she had said that 2 doctors have actually checked this lady, and none of them found any scratch on the lady's body. What I want to know is, when you visited this lady, I mean, given that you had experienced this yourself before now, did you bother to, maybe in an enclosed place, check yourself to see whether indeed, you know, she bore any marks or blisters or anything of the sort?
There was no need for me to ask to open her legs. I tell you, I have gone through it, and when I look at somebody's disposition, I know when you are in pain.
Wow.
So there was no need for me, because I see that as being disrespectful at that moment. What she needed at that moment was protection. She needed somebody to actually confirm to her to say, you are protected. Now you can take a further step to ask questions. But at that moment where she was not safe, and the people who held her were not safe, because anything can happen. So even when we went to her, we made sure we didn't go with our vehicles, so nobody will identify who are those people and what are they doing, you know. So to me, as I say, I still stand by what she says. As a survivor, I still stand by what she says. And to me, the First Lady had no business of saying this on social media. She has no business. This is one way of actually making things like those who are supposed to do their work have not done their work properly. So say she has 2 doctors who have checked that woman to confirm that nothing has happened to her. To me, it's ridiculous.
Yes. You know, before Alfonso comes in, do you feel that the state is maligning, you know, castigating, if you like, survivors of FGM? In light of all what has happened now, including the First Lady's rantings online and everything else? I will not even say feel. That is what is happening. I tell you, when we had the cases of the 2 girls who died in Cambia, till the end of that court, I didn't see any ministry condemn the act. Not any organization who claimed to say they should give consent to this practice condemned it. Nobody visited that scene, only us. So
For me, I question even organizations that continue to push on the age of consent. Because if that is what you stand for, when a situation like that happens, you have to go. Get first-hand information. But we had a report of one child. We went to see just one child, and upon arriving at the police station, we also get the information, it's not just one. There is a second case in another village, just within the same chiefdom. And it was proven. We had to go to make sure we moved the doctor because they left the corpse unattended for like 4 days. We have to move the doctor to go to the scene and make sure they do a postmortem so they can bury her. So for me, this issue about anybody talking about age of consent, I don't think even they believe in that. Okay. You know, I don't think if they believe in that. Because if you believe in that, you see the rampant initiation of children, you should have taken action.
Okay. Alphonsus, you were driving to town last night and you saw that, you know, traumatic picture of, as you've told me just now, of kids, mostly, I mean, below the ages, you know, of, let's say 6 or even, you know, 5, which you saw, you said. Looking at everything now, in totality, do you think, and including what happened in Parliament, you've just told me that that particular portion that criminalized, you know, forcefully conscripting children under 18 was removed from our law books. Is the state deliberately, you know, propagating this practice?
Of course, the state.
At a time when a lot of people, including the international community, are calling for harmony.
Indeed, yes. The state is deliberately propagating the practice itself under the pretext of custom and tradition. And that is why I laid the premises. How traditional is the practice itself compared to nowadays. So how we used to know it when the days of Madame Yoko and even after the days of Madame Yoko, to my own great-grandparents. To, you know, women that are going there to prepare them for their womanhood or for marital status. I don't see any reason for a parliamentarian to tell me that a 5-year-old child is going to be prepared to get married, which is even against the Marriage Act, the customary marriage acts of this country, and they remove that portion. So, you know, I said the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs started a very good action, and they did an extensive consultation that led to that portion being included in that act. Parliamentarians remove it because of political. They do not remove it for the fact that it's something that is of a cultural practice and tradition, but they remove it because of personal interest, politics. That it's nothing else. And many times, by the time we say 2028 elections, you will see a number of parliamentarians, people aspiring for parliament, going to parliament, now giving money to circumcisers that I'm going to pay for 100 people. So the people, the circumcisers will just go and grab whosoever they feel like grabbing and initiating them. And that's the thing. But as my sister have said here, it was really unfortunate on the part of the First Lady to have gone even on air, on social media, to come up with such statement when the matter is so fresh in the police. She had already prejudiced the matter, and she had already exposed the survivor. I think her own responsibility as a mother is to console the survivor. Try to show some aspect of feeling that associate yourself that I'm sympathizing with you. But to go on air to say 2 medical doctors who were present at the time when she brought in those medical doctors. Some of us will even caution that because none of us, not even institutions that are protecting them, including her, was present. When you want to do short things to condemn or to prove the other people that they are doing something wrong, involve them in the process what we are doing. But I want the First Lady to present to us who were present at the time she engaged those 2 medical doctors that certified her claim on air. That is one thing. And so by her own utterances, she has not only demoralized the woman, But she had already given credence to those who perpetrated the offense.
Part of the video, she said that she was more or less concerned about, you know, the truthfulness of what the lady was saying, that if at all this thing was true and real and factual, then she needs to open up more. I mean, she picked out, according to her, what she described as inaccuracies in the lady's explanation.
That was the statement of the First Lady.
That's what she said.
The statement of the First Lady is not only misleading, but sensational. That's sensational politicking. You cannot play politics.
You think it's politics?
Yeah, it's politicking. Because how, if the lady is not saying, let's take the layman point of view. Why should I go to the police station to make a report if I'm just making unnecessary claims? For the woman to even move from her home to go to the police station, that is in itself, it amounts to a courage for her to even go and explain what happened to her. Some people will not even go out and explain because they will fear of the stigma, the backlash, as the First Lady is doing now. That is why some, when they went through short practices, or it happened to them, they will remain silent so that they will not receive short statement coming from the First Lady of this country.
Rugetu, has this actually reduced trust even in our security apparatus, let's say the Sierra Police? I mean, you've gone to the police to request for this medical report and it was refused being given to you. You think that, you know, reduces trust in any way, or says a lot about, you know, the kind of policing that we're doing in Sierra Leone in any way?
You know, whenever we have a discussion on this issue, I just see the hypocrisy on leaders of this nation. Because you say things that you know they are not actually correct and true, and you also know that these are things you don't participate in, but you encourage less privileged people to continue to do that. It's unfortunate that our First Lady is becoming a topic of discussion on this issue based on the different platforms she has spoken on and what she says, the inconsistencies in all of our platform. In one, you will say, I am not in favor. In another, she will say, but when you have a problem, I am behind you. In another, she will say, I support this, but my 2 children will not go through this. And she is not just alone in doing that. A lot of other influential people are doing this. So for me, discrediting reports or bringing out reports that you think are in support of what you think in politics, not the reality of what you believe. It's politics. To me, I just don't give credence to that. What I believe in is the fact that when we go to a community, we see what happened in reality. And these are the realities we try to bring to people who are in authority so they can see that they have a responsibility to protect their citizens.
You know, in all of this, I really don't know really what's wrong. I mean, if there is any love lost between you and the First Lady. I mean, are you okay with the First Lady? Are you cool, generally? Do you have a very good relationship with her?
Well, I don't think if we have a problem. Okay. One of the things I know, it's not just her. Most people, when you write them appointments and you say, anti-FGM, somebody wants to meet with you, they don't give you the opportunity. Okay. So, and I will not go and say, I want people to know who I am before going to them. Because I don't want to go to them and start a discussion that they think, no, this I don't want to hear. So when we write to say we want to meet with the First Lady, it was very clear in our appointment letter to say, the FGM movement want to meet with you. And I believe the office she holds, she needs to give opportunity to whosoever ask to listen. I think...
So that, just to follow up with that, she also said in the video that if you wanted to talk, you should have actually gone to the discussion table. You were saying now that you had written her before now for you to meet with her and your cohort.
Yes, we have done that.
Did she refuse?
No, nobody responded from our office. No.
But she's now saying that you should have come to the table
How would we go to the table when meeting now you have protocol to go through? And we did one of the steps, write a letter to make an appointment. And we have the away book, we sent 2 letters. And I see that she accepts all other groups to meet with her, and not the anti-FGM
Except
group.
anti-FGM group.
Yes.
Are you worried in any way, you know, are you worried in any way that your name actually was mentioned on the list of people she
No,
published?
I am not
You
worried
know,
at all.
She called you
In fact,
anti-FGM campaigner who have failed.
In fact, if my name was not on that list, a lot of people would have asked. Because I know majority of the Sierra Leoneans know me as one of the lead anti-FGM campaigners. So if my name was not on that list, they will begin to call me to ask, what happened? So I'm not worried at all. I'm not.
What you want to come in?
Yes, she will not be worried, but there is some amount of concern.
Okay.
Yes, you know, you as a first lady coming out openly, referring to somebody that has been campaigning on the respect of women and girls on the issue of FGM and making that announcement in a public medium like that, you are exposing her to risk. Coming from the First Lady. It's a concern to us as human rights defenders. And we take at least a great exception to some of those statements coming from people in position. You need to also engage. As she rightly said, we have also engaged the office of the First Lady to discuss with her on some issues. The worst thing about this government, you will send letter. They will not even acknowledge letter. They would never respond. And I think they are public servants.
Okay.
If you don't want to meet with the person, write back to the person that we are sorry, we have received your letter, but we are busy with A and B. They will never respond. So it's not a surprise of not meeting with her, probably because she could not dance to what maybe some people may be looking at it. So to us, she will not be surprised, but to us, as it's a concern from the human perspective.
I understand, yes, it's a concern. But as I say, I am not surprised because everybody knows that I am an anti-FGM campaigner. And we've sent letters, not just to the First Lady. We send letters to the President, to the Chief Minister, because we need to have a conversation on this.
All right. You know, for balance and fairness, I'm not sure the First Lady would really come to our studio to answer questions around this. I find it highly improbable that she would ever, you know, come to the studio to answer questions. But I want to believe that we will try to get her, you know, spokesperson, Wusu Dadida, perhaps tomorrow morning to, you know, hear their own side of things exactly and try to pair them with what you've told us here today, indeed, to understand the depth of the issue and why, indeed, you know, the First Lady is saying all of these things on the back of this thing that has happened actually to us. But let's take sport quickly. The Sierra Leone's men's football team, the Leone Stars, on Saturday secured a 1-0 win against Liberia at the Southern Arena in Bo City in the first leg of a double friendly series. The match was closely contested, with both teams demonstrating physical intensity and technical discipline. The decisive goal came in the 66th minute when Abdul Jaju Kabia found space in the box and scored with a clinical finish. Marie Esther Samora reports.
A second-half goal from defender Abdul Jaju Kabia proved decisive as Leone Stars claimed a narrow 1-0 win over Liberia on Saturday, 6th June 2026 at Southern Arena in Bo. The match, the first leg of a two-match international friendly series, saw a goalless first half before Kabia struck midway through the second half. The tall centre-back finished from a pass delivered from the left wing to give Sierra Leone the lead. Mustafa Bono, captain of Leone Stars, speaking during the post-match press conference, said that playing on home soil for the first time in many years was very special for the entire team.
I'm very proud. It was not just a friendly match. In many cases, it was a very special game. In many ways, we haven't played each other for a long time, and we played in both, you know, which as she said. So it was a special game in many cases. As you also said, our actual coach that just got appointed was also here. which is also a good thing. You know, a lot of us wants to impress, wants to show him what he's coming into, and I hope he's impressed for what he's seen. And in terms of the game, like the coach said, I think we were very solid in the first half. We created some chances early. Throughout the first half, we created some chances, and then we got some good talks in the changing rooms, and we had to come out and change something, a little bit of things, and then we came out, we got the goal, we were very disciplined, we were very solid at the back. I thought it was a solid performance from everyone, the whole team. You know, we were passing on the messages before we went out to play the game that this is a team. You know, everyone that is here, people are here for a reason. We need to hold on so that people that come on can help us. And today, some of the guys that do very, very, very well. I'm just happy. You know, most of these guys, it's their first time playing in Sierra Leone, which is also amazing. I hope what they've seen it's giving them a lot of encouragement to go out there and tell people that are maybe not thinking of coming to Sierra Leone to come and play for us, that have black parents, they can go out there and say, listen, it's actually very, very good. Sierra Leone is a footballing country, it's a footballing nation. Football means everything to everyone. So hopefully we did also the country proud. I know that everyone was watching. Also, maybe not everyone wanted us to win today. We know how much the pressure that comes also with playing for Leone, but I'm happy we come out with the win. And yeah, now we rest tonight, spend time with our families, because I think a lot of our families are over here. Like you said, it's the first time we're playing in home soil, and spend some time with families. And then tomorrow, I think we head to Liberia, and then try to go get another good performance in the week.
John Kister, caretaker coach of Leone Stars, said he was impressed with the squad's performance, noting that the friendly will aid preparations for the AFCON qualifiers starting in September 2026.
I'm sure, today he will have a good idea around what he's going to inherit. I thought we did very well in the first half. Had a good couple of chances. But I thought we were very dependable in terms of how we play. What is it doing? I'm not just pleased for this match. I said, whatever happens about Sierra Leone, I came to Sierra Leone 15 years ago. And for me, it was about coming back and giving back to Sierra Leone. Today is no different. I was asked to step in, to steady the ship, which I did, irrespective of, what the populist speak around what is and what isn't. But I'm just glad to be Sierra Leoneans, we'll go home happy. We've got Leone Stars back into Sierra Leone.
Liberia's head coach noted that this was his first assignment as head coach of Leone Stars and believes he is also building a squad for the upcoming AFCON campaign. The newly appointed head coach of Leone Stars, Didier Gomez da Rosa, was officially presented to fans during the interval. Captain Mustafa Bundu said the team is ready to work with him.
We had no idea, honestly, we had no idea who the coach was going to be. We had no clue. We were actually on the bus coming here, and then it was crazy. We saw a picture in his laptop, the welcome picture, and then he just showed us that this is the coach, and we talked about it for a little 5 minutes here and there. And like he said, the focus was on this game today. Obviously you're excited when you know that the coach is going to be in the stands. It's like going on a trial, if people are watching, when he's coming in with a different perspective, he wants to see. It was very hot today in the first half. Maybe he saw little things that he came into our change rooms as well. He's talked to us and seems very happy. So we're excited to work with him. Obviously, we don't know yet. We've never done anything with him, so we're going to see what he can help us with and what we can give to him to put
For the first time in the history of Sierra Leone football, a top-tier international match involving senior national teams was played outside of Freetown. Maestro Samora.
Right, thanks to Esther, Maria Samora for that report. This is where indeed and how we'll wrap up today's edition of the program Wake Up Sierra Leone. We say thanks to our sponsor, Wakeup Commercial Bank, for their support to the program, and to our cherished and valued audiences, as we appreciate your time. I am Victor Jones. Please stay tuned to the AYV throughout the day, as we have other exciting programs coming up. Till we meet again tomorrow morning, Tuesday, for another edition. Please take care of yourself and remember to show kindness always. Goodbye.
Ghana.